The wisdom of folklore teaches that when there is a death in agricultural households, one of the essential customs to be observed is that someone must go out to the orchard and tell the bees of the passing, in addition to assuring them that they will continue to be well cared for by the new head of the estate. If the members of the household are observing the formalities of mourning, it is proper also to put the bees into mourning by draping their hives with black crepe or fastening a scrap of this doleful fabric to their hive. We humans are not so different from the social bees. We want to be informed when a member of our community has died and to share in the process by which we mark such transitions in our life together. We assemble here today to acknowledge the death of our friend and kinsman, Ernest Kelly Marzett, and to comfort one another in the sharing of our sorrow. Traditional wisdom assures us that the bees he loved and cared for in his backyard garden will sense his absence and miss him. No less will we who sang with him, who made music and family and community with him, be aware of his empty place among us and miss his presence for a long time to come. Just as the bees need to be told of their bereavement, so we need to speak of our sorrow and invite our memories to stay with us so that they may become a source of comfort in this time of profound sadness. The stored up honey of love that nurtures us when a loved one departs on that long last journey from which there is no return. May this hour together in the house of remembrance be testimony to the truth and depth of our love for him departed and to the enduring bonds of friendship and family, which shall be stronger than sorrow or parting and connect us to his memory forever. Kelly lived the authenticity of his love with courage in a sometimes hostile world. Here to testify to the power of that example are some of his partners in song from the Heartland Men's Chorus and the All Souls Choir. Thank you. I confess that after everything I've been told about his reputation for promptness, it is a relief to see that Kelly is here on time this morning. So good morning and welcome. Welcome to those joining us on live streaming, as well as those here in the room. My name is Kendall Gibbons. I am the senior minister here at All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church, which has been Kelly and Scott's spiritual community and home for many years. This morning we will be sharing in readings and in music and in memories from some among us, moments from Kelly's life and the meaning that he has had and continues to have for all those who cared for him. We thank each of you for being here to offer your support to the family and invite everyone to gather for light refreshments and informal conversation in Conover Hall down the hallway to the left after the conclusion of the service. I also invite you to reserve, if you can, the date of May 13th, when we will gather for a robust celebration of Kelly's life and to share individual memories and stories in a way that is not possible today. Scott will be getting the word out as plans are firmed up. The ideals to which we give our devotion and the habits of mind and heart that we practice, such as reason, curiosity, hope, and nurturing care, illuminate the world even when our individual lives reach their inevitable close. Therefore, we kindle once again this flame, symbol of the free faith of this community's heritage and of the path that we shared for a time with Kelly. In its light, may we enshrine in memory all that was best in him and carry his influence as a lasting summons to our own better selves. Kelly was actually his middle name, but it's hard to imagine him now as a lifelong Ernie. He began his education attending St. Monica Elementary School, formerly known as St. Joseph's, where he graduated in 1977. During these years, he also served as an altar boy at St. Monica's Church. He then graduated from Bishop Ward High School in Kansas City, Kansas in 1981. Kelly obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree in Healthcare Administration from Avila University in Kansas City, Missouri in 1985. After graduation, he worked in healthcare at John Knox Village and then for several years in banking. He later spent the majority of his career as a long-term care insurance claims examiner at several companies before retiring after a severe back injury in 2008. Kelly met the love of his life, his husband, Scott Christian England, in 1998 in Kansas City when they both were part of the Heartland Men's Chorus. Kelly knew very quickly that this was the person he wanted to marry. He just had to be patient while Scott figured it out. They were married on September 27, 2003, here at All Souls, and then legally married on September 26, 2008, in San Diego. They celebrated 24 years together in September 2022. Many who were present at that initial ceremony report there was both the first gay wedding and also one of the most meaningful marriage services they had ever attended. Kelly and Scott would recall their exchange of rings as one of the highlight moments of both their lives. I say that those who live together for decades in mutual affection that ends only with one grieving for the loss of the other are fortunate above most mortals in this world, and leave a rich example for the rest of us to follow. Kelly also loved music and acting and was involved in numerous performance groups in high school and college. He was an active member of the Heartland Men's Chorus for 30 years, joining in 1993 and singing tenor 1. He performed numerous solos with various small groups over the years. Kelly was predeceased by his parents, grandparents, and multiple aunts and uncles. He is survived by his husband, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, 8 nieces and nephews, 4 grandnieces and nephews, and multiple cousins. Family was extremely important to Kelly, and he played an active and joyful role in raising all of his nieces and nephews. He was a favorite gunkle, gay uncle, long before the term was in vogue. He loved to cook for people, but he hardly ever used a recipe, preferring to cook by taste and instinct. He was his mother's primary caregiver during the last years of her life, and her death in 2020 was a deep loss to him. Kelly was also an enthusiastic hobby beekeeper for 12 years, maintaining up to 5 hives in his and Scott's backyard, which he was constantly landscaping to provide food for the bees. Scott tells that he suggested a continuing community education class on the subject, knowing that Kelly had always had a curiosity about it, and was then startled to be told after a couple of class meetings that the teacher would be coming over the following week to help with the installation of the hive that had been ordered and was scheduled for delivery. Under the brand of Marland Farms, their Urban Queen's honey was highly sought after by family and friends alike. Kelly was also an avid reader who always had at least one book open on his tablet. He was also a devoted pet parent to 2 dogs, Hercules and Lulu. Although he was told at the age of 19 that his red blood cell count was oddly high and he might not enjoy a long life, no one, least of all Kelly himself, seems to have known that he was fatally ill 2 weeks ago. He never was one to leave a good party without saying goodbye and thank you, even if he was, as usual, running late for another engagement. We may not know what awaited him. We just know that one minute he was gazing out the window at his beloved garden, and the next he was gone from us. I like to think that in those final moments he may have seen again a vision of the fruitfulness that he and Scott coaxed from their little slice of urban oasis, a sanctuary for happy bees that distilled its sweetness into Urban Queen's honey to share with the world. Any of us would be lucky to end our final moments with such a glimpse of purpose fulfilled in beauty and nurtured friends. We who had the good fortune to share part of our lives with Kelly must now do as the bees and store our memories as sweetness to sustain us in whatever difficulties come our way in his absence. Whatever befalls us as the seasons turn, let us commit to remember him as a source of love and happiness in our lives. He is now one of the cloud of witnesses to life's joy of connection and beauty, whose example can inspire us to live in appreciation as we remember them. Please join me in this antiphonal reading with the response, "We remember them." Every day at the rising sun and at its going down, at the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, now at the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, at the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, at the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, at the beginning of the year and when it ends. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as when we are weary and in need of strength, whenever we are lost and sick at heart, when we have decisions that are difficult to make, when we have joy that we crave to share, when we have achievements that are based on theirs. For as long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as now there are members of the family and other friends who have been asked to share memories. Please come up and don't move the microphone, but speak towards it so that those who are joining us online can hear.
Good morning. My name is Darkest Poochie Hullaby. Only my family can call me Poochie. Just make sure we get that straight. We hear a lot about Kelly with gardening and with the bees and how he took care and stole other people's children, he and Scott. But we didn't talk about how Kelly was an avid thrift store genius. If you go into their home, everything that they own belonged to somebody else first. When Kelly was working at the bank, he was off on Wednesdays, and that happened to be the same day I was off. And so I had small children and was poor, really poor, and we would make a date every Wednesday. And Kelly would take me to thrift stores all over the city, and we would spend from 10 o'clock in the morning until it was time to pick the kids up from after-school care, just shopping. And my kids looked like they came out of a bandbox because he knew all the best places. He showed me about check the seams, check the buttons, look at who made them, what was cheap, what was not. Nobody knew that my kids walked out of a thrift store. And my daughter, I'm going to talk about you, Leah, she wore a size 1. And you couldn't find a size 1 in the stores. They didn't sell size 1s, but they did at the thrift store. And she dressed fine all the time. And so I owe most of my furniture, most of my housewares, and all of my children's clothes from the thrift stores, thanks to the teachings and the tutelage of Kelly Marzett.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sierra Marzett. I am Kelly's niece, but Uncle Kelly treated all of us like his nieces and nephews or like his own children. I have to read this because I can't speak like Auntie Poochie. Uncle Kelly is the most amazing uncle a little girl could have asked for. When you stepped into his home, you stepped into his world. He carved out a special space for himself. His home is where you could truly unwind and be yourself. He taught me so much about cooking freehand, baking, and gardening. His backyard was always my favorite spot, and that's one memory I want to share. So I remember a day when both Uncle Kelly and Uncle Scott picked me up from school, and it was a beautiful day outside, and we were in the garden. Of course, where else would we be? We were planting around the base of the walnut tree, and I picked up a rock. What I thought was a funky shoelace was actually a garden snake. A baby garden snake, and I was young enough to think it was a dry worm. I didn't know what it was. I was closest to Uncle Kelly, and I showed it to him since it had wrapped around my arm, and I had never picked up a snake before, so I was a little alarmed. He immediately said, ooh, go show your Uncle Scott. I did not know the level of fear he had of snakes. So Uncle Kelly sent me in on a mission to scare his husband. I calmly walked up to him and said, "Hey, Uncle Scott," and I lifted my arm, and Mariah Carey. The scream that came out of Uncle Scott. But I say that to say there was never a dull moment at Uncle Kelly's house, which is, it just quickly became Uncle Kelly and Uncle Scott's house. Or for myself, roommate, living with you at 2 different stages of my life. And I want to say to you, Uncle Scott, you taught me how to be genuine, kind, gracious, and selfless. You're such a great person and uncle Kelly was so lucky to have you. I admire you, and I love you, and you two share. I admire the love you two share because it is one of the most beautiful things I have witnessed in my lifetime. Something I will always hold in my heart is how special you made me feel when you handmade my angel wings for the school Christmas play. You're so cool and creative. And the wings are absolutely perfect. What I later understood is you are the angel that was sent to Uncle Kelly and our family. Uncle Scott, you mean the world to me. You also mean the world to my family. We love you so much, and we will continue to do so, and that will never change.
We have received a resolution from Community Abundant Life Church, and I would like to share it with you. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth. Whereas our Heavenly Father has seen fit to call home our dearly beloved brother Kelly Marzett from laboring down here to come up high to receive his reward, although sometimes the road may have been rough and dark shadows crossed the way, but God was his keeper in an ever-present time of need. Whereas to Brother Marzett's devoted family and his cousin Reggie and Felicia Marzett, who are members of Community Abundant Life Church, continue to look to God for your divine guidance, because he is only a prayer away. Don't be distressed or worried. Be confident and still, for many prayers are going up and asking for God's will. The road ahead seems dark now. There's not much you can do. But place yourself within his hands, and he will see you through. So trust him for each moment. Cast on him every care, and his strong arms will carry you when it's too much to bear. There's power for the asking and strength for each new day. The great physician's still on call. He's just a prayer away. Therefore, be it resolved to the Marzett family, the Community Abundant Life Church family encourages each of you to continue to have faith in the Lord, because faith is holding on to life when all around is pain, and faith is seeing rainbows when the sky is full of rain. Faith is reaching out to God when you are filled with fear. Faith is taking someone's hand and feeling God is near. Faith is showing you believe and that you truly care. Faith is searching for the Lord and finding him in prayer. Be it further resolved, the Abundant Life Church family extends our love and heartfelt sympathy to the bereaved. From Community Abundant Life Church, humbly submitted, the Community Abundant Life Church family. And its pastor. And
good morning. My name is Sean Cullen, Artistic Director of the Heartland Men's Chorus. Today, it is my honor to stand before so many who were privileged to have Kelly a part of their life, his supportive family, his loving friends, his spiritual community here at All Souls, and the singers of the Heartland Men's Chorus. Today we come together to mourn the loss of our chorus family member, Kelly, an integral member of our chorus and a dear friend to us all. Kelly wasn't just a member of the Heartland Men's Chorus. He was a pillar of the chorus, inspiring us all with his talent, his wit, and his unyielding spirit. Kelly's sudden passing has left us all heartbroken, but we must remember an incredible legacy that he leaves behind. Today, in tandem with our feelings of loss and grief, we choose to celebrate his life as the beloved singer and performer who brought nothing but joy and light into the world through his music and through his infectious personality. Today, we choose to celebrate his life and an incredible impact he had on our chorus and our community. I will truly be preaching to the choir today when I remind us all how Kelly's voice could fill a rehearsal room with warmth and emotion, and as a soloist who could move audiences to tears with his powerful voice and ability to connect with audiences with precision comedic timing. He was a shining star on every stage he graced, and his talent and passion inspired all who had the privilege of working with him. Today I humbly speak for Reuben Reynolds, Joe Netto, and Dustin Cates, the former artistic directors of the Heartland Men's Chorus, who worked with Kelly for decades to simply facilitate opportunities for Kelly to share his fabulousness. For some, it was Kelly's performance of the iconic Patsy Cline number, "I've Got Your Picture," where Kelly, in full drag, donning an oversized dress, revealed outrageously oversized items one at a time, leaving the audience in absolute stitches. Kelly had a gift for inspiring others through his talents as a vocalist, and he brought that gift to countless stages in Kansas City and beyond, including the first time I personally saw Kelly, not knowing who he was, during the premiere of Mark Hayes' I Rise, celebrating the words of Maya Angelou at the 2016 Gala Choruses Festival in Denver. It was on this global stage in front of thousands of people that he sang these words. "Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise." For 30 years, Kelly was a model of the Heartland Men's Chorus and what they stand for. He was a singing activist who worked tirelessly to live our mission, to enlighten, inspire, heal, and empower. And he was a living embodiment of our new mission, to build community, celebrate pride, and empower authenticity. Kelly was a model for what it means to live authentically and true to oneself. He never pretended to be anyone other than who he was, and his authenticity was a beacon of light for all who knew him. He lived his life with purpose, spreading love and joy wherever he went, and inspiring others to do the same. But what truly set Kelly apart was his spirit. It was that charisma and that epic weekly helping of sassiness that brought love, light, and laughter to countless rehearsals and over 75 performances during his time with Heartland Men's Chorus. It was his quick wit and wicked sense of humor that could brighten even the darkest of days, and Kelly's participation in the chorus was a testament to his dedication to our vision and his unwavering commitment to making a world a better place through music. As the famous quote says, "Music is the soundtrack of your life," so it's no wonder he met the love of his life, Scott, through the chorus. And together they shared a life filled with music and laughter and love. In the words of Maya Angelou, once again, "Music was my refuge. I could crawl into the space between the notes and curl my back to loneliness." For Kelly, music was not just a refuge, it was his passion and his calling. It was his gift to the world. Scott, we hope the time you shared alongside Kelly with your HMC KC family is a reminder that there will always be a place for you to honor your love that you both shared through music. Even if only a short respite from the weight of grief and unimaginable loss, your chosen family is and will be here for you to continue your legacy alongside his, living on each and every time we raise our voices to inspire a world of love and acceptance. Music can change the world because it can change people. And Kelly changed us all with his music. It was his passion, his calling, and his gift to the world. Kelly, we will miss you more than words can express. But we take comfort in knowing that your legacy lives on in the music you created, the hearts you touched, and the love you shared with the world. Rest in both power and peace, dear friend, and keep singing in the heavens above.
Now let us join together in the beloved words of prayer, led by Ray Marzett.
Good morning. I'm Gilbert Ray Marzett, Kelly's older but younger looking brother. I noticed that the Ave Maria is going to be performed after the prayer. I would sing it for everyone, but Kelly would come out of that casket and take this mic from me, so I'll just read the prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
No one but the callous will ever make little the sorrow of human hearts at the death of those they love. There is no sure medicine for this ill, and those who love truly wish for none. We know our sorrow as the necessary price of the joy of love and connection. The heavier our sorrow, the more has been that which is taken away. They who embrace and affirm life willingly invite sorrow as the risk taken in owning the fullness of life and companionship. So we learn to possess our sorrows as the measure of our loves. In this parting, let us learn to dwell more constantly with him who is gone, bringing him into ourselves as the companion of our silence and our solitude, even as he was once our outward companion. Time can dull the pain, but even the medicine of time is not sure. The only final healing is to create our peace within ourselves by possessing our sorrows in our solitude, by possessing our memories and finding in them strength. It is not our way to withhold from the earth forever the substance of which our living bodies were once composed. In a little while, Kelly's family will lay his mortal remains to rest among the dust of his forebears at the family burial place in Bonner Springs. So there shall be performed for Kelly the final duty of love, which is to lay aside with tenderness and reverence the broken vessel from which the essence of his being is fled, trusting that what was best in him is not lost, but goes forth into the living stream of creation to be found again in beauty and honor.
Good morning. My name is Sophia Marzett. I was my uncle's niece, and I will be doing the reading from Gone from My Sight. I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the moving breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of white cloud just where the sea and sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, "There, she is gone." Gone where? Gone from my sight, that is all. She is just as large as mass, hull, and spar as she was when she left my side, and she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone says, "There, she is gone," and there are other eyes watching her coming, and other voices ready to take upon the glad shout, "Here she comes."
Now, since it is left to us to continue in the world, may the death of this honored man recall us to our own destiny, strengthening us in our dedication to some noble purpose and in our loyalty to those who remain with us. If so much that is precious can be so easily lost, let us more dearly cherish all that remains. The love we can no longer give to our beloved friend, may we give to those who have need of it now. May we have faith to believe that the universe is honest, even beyond the limit of our sight, that beauty changes and abides, that goodness persists in ever new forms, that love outlasts time and death and all the stars. If it is true at last that the only measure of our words and our deeds will be the love we leave behind when we're done, then it is in the conduct of our lives and not in our words that our faith must be read. Therefore, let us go from here in peace of heart and compassion for one another. Do justice, love mercy, walk humbly in the presence of God. Live in love, die in love. It's that simple and that difficult, always.